Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. There is some talk about filtration and camps and deportation done by Russia of Ukrainians, and I don't know what this is, because just today is the first time when I hear this kind of accusations so bluntly expressed by in the same time by the Americans and by the Ukrainians. I'm talking about leadership. I don't know where Great Britain is now that they are in the process of getting rid of Boris Johnson. I don't think they're very verbal. I'm assuming, as I said that before, that Great Britain, I think, gets out of the sponsorship company. I don't think they're going to sponsor the Ukrainians for much longer or at all, and that's why I'm waiting to see. I think Boris Johnson was kicked out for that reason, one of the reasons. So I have two articles. One is from the Republic World from today, and the other one is from the same outlet, and this is the title. So today is the 13th of July 2022. This is the title: Blinken calls on Russia to stop filtration operations and forced deportations in Ukraine. Now the other article is titled Zelensky accuses Russia of deporting people and setting up filtration camps. So it was a little switch. Now let's see what Blinken says. Anthony Blinken, in a statement called Russia's unlawful transfer and deportation of people a violation of the Geneva Convention on the Protection of Civilians. The US has urged Russia to immediately stop its systematic filtration operations and forced deportation in Russian occupied regions of Ukraine. US Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, in a statement called Russia's unlawful transfer and deportation of people a violation of Geneva Convention on the Protection of Civilians, and termed it a war crime. Now I don't know where they're going with this, what kind of a move they want to do at the maybe United Nations. I have no idea. The interesting thing is here this, that I think, I mean, many points I can look at here, but one of them is US urges or has urged Russia. I don't think that Blinken wanted to speak with Lavrov in the G20 meeting. Remember that one? And I don't think that they at that time Blinken wanted to talk with Russia. So now you can't just, it's not unidirectional. When you want to say something, you say it, but then you shut off your ears, so the other side cannot tell you its answer or anything. 2 days ago I posted some videos regarding Lavrov talking about the fact that they will not try to get US back into talking to them, and they said that US withdrew unilaterally from the communications with Russia, and now this guy urges you either stay upset over there in your corner and pretend that you're superior and perfect, or you come back at the table and deal with men, with adults. But these guys are just like that. They yell from their corner, and when you want to talk, they just turn their back. And this is very, very much, how do you call it, narcissistic behavior. I don't like this slide. You see how it changes? Left and right. I become this, I become that. We don't like that, but what can we do? I tell you exactly what I would do, but not live. So nevertheless, let's go here. Blinken asked Russia to release the people who have been detained and permit Ukrainian nationals who have been forced into leaving their nation to safely return home. So Blinken asked Russia, well, you know, if you ask, then wait for an answer. And it says here that furthermore, he called on Russia to provide outside independent observers access to so-called filtration facilities in Russia. U.S. Secretary of State asserted that Russian President Vladimir Putin and his government will not be able to carry out these systematic abuses with impunity, and stressed that accountability is imperative. Really? Do you have a winner? Do you own a mirror? And he says here that Blinken cited information from various sources that allege is, some people say it's not verified, but nevertheless, 900,000 to 1.6 million Ukrainian citizens, including 260,000 children, have been interrogated, detained, and forcibly deported from their homes to Russia or isolated regions in the Far East by Russian authorities. Well, these guys think and they behave and they want to give, in my assessment, want to give the impression that Russia is still Soviet Union with Stalin and with the gulags and deportation into Far East if you say something wrong, or that's the message. So portraying, smearing Russian government. Okay, they can do this, but some people really fall for that. Nevertheless, another thing is he urges, again, he's talking like he's in charge of anything. He's not in charge of it. I mean, really of anything. He's not charged. He's just another country. He can say certain things, it's true, but then if that's the case, don't get me wrong, that should be remediated, obviously. Now, my question is, why would I want to get let's say, get the maximum number, 1.6 million people that really hate me, and relocate them on my territory, that I know they hate me? Why would you want to do that? It's only one answer. First, you're illogical and you're evil. It doesn't make sense, because the same things were done, put on someone else some years back, the same. Don't try to find reason behind the actions, or the actions and the decision made, because it's pure evil. So if it's pure evil, you don't expect that. So, and then we have here again, Blinken accuses Russia of deliberately separating Ukrainian children from their parents. I heard that here on the border with Trump, the same mantra. I don't know if that's true, neither he knows, but nevertheless, let's go to the other guy. Zelensky accuses Russia of deporting people and setting up filtration camp. So he says that Zelensky accused Russia of forcibly setting up so-called filtration camps. Well, sometimes you do that with prisoners. That's standard. I don't know what the problem is now. You don't know who's who, what's what when you have refugees. So you do filtration camp. That's what they did in the Second World War as well. The Americans with the Germans. Remember? All right. So, and anyway, it says here, Russia forcibly created so-called filtration camps through which it forces people to pass in the occupied territories. Tens of thousands of people remain there. Young women disappear there. Yeah, you know what it implies, what he said. As I said, if that's true, by all means, that should be remediated and so on. The thing is, they have allegations, and on the other hand, is this, I don't know how to call it. Imagine two households, and imagine the third household. And the third household thinks that the third household, the neighbor, is the perfect one, never made a mistake, and has the right somehow, I don't know, celestial right, to criticize everybody and tell them what to do and how to live and what's good and what's bad. And if you don't follow that, you must be bad, and you are bad and evil. And then when you try to point out, in reverse, hey, wait a second, do you own a mirror? They turn their back, they don't talk to you. You shouldn't even have anything to say. Don't even dare. We're not listening to you. You're bottom feeder. Pop, 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 pop. So I think that's frustrating, very frustrating. And Russia treats them as such. Unfortunately, these guys are my guys here. And I don't know, I don't like this behavior. I put myself in both sides, and I'm like, unless you assume you're perfect, it doesn't mean you can't criticize, but accept the criticisms from the other side as well, because otherwise nobody would give you any credibility that, or authority in anything. Accept your flaws and so on, remediate your flaws, and then you can talk. I mean, look at the Bible, remember? The Bible? All right. Mind your own business, don't judge others. The person who has no sins cast the first stone, and so on. Well, these Christians are not doing that, and it's very unchristian what happens over there. But I leave the Christianity alone. I'm just looking at it as in a pragmatic and I would say logical way, and I'm thinking, if you think that the rule applies to them, then the same rule should apply to you. That's basics, morality, however you want to call it, virtue, morality. Go and get Aristotle for that with ethics, and you learn a lot. But I don't think they even heard about Aristotle. Anyway, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.